what the junk?
Hey, Jen.
That didn't feel right.
No, it wasn't. Do we need to do it again?
No, it's okay. I'm past it now.
No, I mean, I think it was okay, but no.
Okay, it wasn't.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that again.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Jen. How are you?
I'm great.
So I'm Brad Menard from Junk King Toledo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm Jen, owner of Jen Hill Organizing.
And today we're going to talk about sales.
Yeah. Like 50% off?
Oh my God, that sounds like a great sale. Oh. What if it was 75% off?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Where like...
You know ones I hate the most?
Which
10%.
Ones?
It's like, seriously? Thanks for covering my tax.
Well...
Drives me nuts.
And I feel like you can just ask for 10%. They'll always give you 10%. So...
Can I just... 10%.
Yeah.
What? You're not even enticing me.
No. What's the point? You know what I love? When places are like going out of business, right? Ooh. They're liquidating and then they're like 50% off everything, and then you go in there and they like marked it all up. It's really not.
Or it's like the shelves.
Right.
And I wish I'm a sucker for those, man. I'm like, well, maybe there's something I need. There's really never
me too.
Anything. Like, yeah. I don't have a store.
I mean,
but yeah. Like maybe I need this cool shelf. I don't know.
When I moved into my house here, there was old wooden like shoe shelves from like a shoe store.
Oh, wow.
And they had like the advertising thing on the end.
Wow.
I was so mad that they left them.
Yeah,
and then I had to find a junk company that would take it. And that was really a pain, which is why I started a junk company.
There you go.
So, yeah.
That's how we got here, folks.
It is. I had so many ways I was going to get rid of those. And then Jessica was like, I'll find a junk company. And I'm like, I don't know.
Were they big?
Like, they were huge. They were like 5 foot.
Jeez.
Ish. Yeah. And then, I don't think that's 5 foot, but...
I don't think so.
Yeah, but
that's okay.
But then they had the part where you could, like, put the shoes on for a display, right? Okay. And then they had, like, a storage thing in the middle where they, I think, would put shoes
like
or
extras?
Something. Right,
okay.
I guess. And so, yeah.
How did we get here? I don't know.
Yeah. And so, sales. So what are we going to talk about with sales?
I mean, are you for or against?
They're really never that great of a deal.
They're neutral, really.
Right.
It's just what happens, what we do with the sale.
And it encourages you to buy things that you probably didn't really need, but then you felt like, oh, I gotta have this.
Sale.
Right? Absolutely.
I mean, this kind of goes back to our discussion about our favorite big box stores.
I was just thinking that. Yeah. Sometimes it just seems like too good of a deal, and you're like, I gotta have it. Because where will I find this ever again?
Yeah.
So I used to work at Foot Locker when I was in college.
Yeah.
And interesting fact, I really only like wearing boots and sandals. Yeah.
Those are two extremes.
Right? But I don't like wearing sneakers and I'll do it when I have to, but boots and sandals, that's my thing.
Okay.
But when I worked at Foot Locker, you get like 60% off of like your clearance of clearance stuff, right? So stuff will go on clearance. I'm like, gotta have it. 60% off. Do you know how cheap that is? I have a lot of sneakers that I've never worn.
Interesting.
Ever. They're just sitting in my closet.
Still?
Yeah.
Brad.
That was from college too.
We're gonna have a talk later.
Yeah.
Bro.
Right? And I would do the same thing with jerseys. I would buy jerseys for players. I don't even know who they are, but I was like, it's a clearance. I gotta have it. And then And then I had a girlfriend break up with me because I bought a Red Sox jersey. I wasn't even really a Red Sox fan, but she was a Yankees fan. She saw that jersey in my closet. Bam, done. Broke up with me. So if she's listening to this, like, I forgive you. I'm over it. It's okay. So.
Wow.
Right? So sales cost me a girlfriend, but I mean, I ended up with like 3 kids and a beautiful wife later. Yeah, so it's fine. Yeah, it all worked out. But but yeah, so Brad, so don't buy on sale jerseys because your girlfriend will end up breaking up with you.
You heard it here first.
You did.
But I think, sales are neutral, right? Mm-hmm. They're just a thing. But I think it is kind of what you're talking about of making sure that it's something that we actually need and not just getting wrapped up into but I'm saving so much money.
Right. Yeah, it's a good deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've had some conversations with people about this a little bit. It makes sense because, as I'm going through with people in their closets and what have you, but it was on sale. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Have you worn it? Have you used it? did you give it to whoever you were going to give it to? You
Right.
know, and usually the answer is no. So then really, you didn't save 30%. You lost X number of whatever dollars that item was. So, you
Right.
know, it's just something, again, just to be aware of. And I think it's good for us to talk about these things just so that they're in front of people.
Right.
I mean, like, obviously we struggle with all of this too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're real people.
That we are.
And I do think that we do need to throw in the caveat that we spend a lot of time talking about not buying things, but we definitely both buy things.
We do.
And we have like our impulses. And there is absolutely
Board games.
right? Garage stuff, right? And there's absolutely room for sales. So I know for me, you know, there's a lot of times where I will bookmark something that is a little bit too expensive for me.
Love that.
But then it will go on sale. And I'm like, all right, now it's within the price range that I wanted to spend
yes.
for this item,
yes.
right? And it's something I could live without if it never went on sale and it sold out and I could never get it again. Like, I'm okay with that, right? And so that's something I spend, you know, not a lot of time, but like, you know, I try to make note of those things. You know, I think for me, you know, building demolition derby cars, it's like, there's certain things I know I'm always going to need.
Sure.
And when they do go on sale, I'll buy it. Whether I need it right now or not, I know that I will need it. You know, stuff like toggle switches and, you know, just wiring, you know, things that I know I will definitely use. But, you know, when it goes on sale, it's time to stock up. Doesn't mean I need to buy 100 of them.
There we go, too.
Because I know it'll go on sale again.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, I'm probably only saving a couple bucks. So it's not like I'm saving this huge amount of money.
Right.
And I think too, like, we know the games, right? We know know that, like, they know it's impulsive. They're watching us. So when I go on and I'm looking at something on Amazon and it magically goes on sale later and you're like, oh my God, I gotta get it, which I am absolutely a sucker for. But, you know, I think that sales have a place, but I do think we have to be really careful. I definitely have things in my closet that I have never worn. So, and clothing is a pretty easy one to go to for this kind of stuff, because I do feel like that's where a lot of our major.
Well, because we need clothes,
right? And when I go to the store, I go right to the clearance rack. What's in here? What are the good deals? And sometimes, you know, especially like work clothing, man, I ruin this stuff fast. So I know that even though I may not need this pair of work pants right now, I am going to destroy them in no time.
This one's not gonna
and so
last.
If it's a good price, it's a good time to get it because I will use them.
Right.
So.
Right.
But no more ties or dress shirts for me. So even if it's on sale, I don't need them.
Don't need them.
Yep.
So the other thing I try to do when I'm shopping, and also caveat, like, I actually don't like shopping. Like, I hate it. I try to avoid it so much. But is kind of looking at that price and going like, okay, how many hours do I have to work in order to pay for this item?
Right.
You know, how much of my time am I giving up in order to have this item?
Right.
And is that item going to provide, you know, enough value for that exchange to happen? And sometimes it helps, and sometimes, like, yeah, that's fine. But I think, like you're saying too, like, there's nothing wrong with, like, okay, I'm interested in this item, but I'm just gonna watch because I don't know that I need it for XYZ dollars, and maybe I just wait until it is on sale. And if it doesn't go on sale, you know, it wasn't meant to be.
Right.
I played that game before too.
I think that, you know, at one point in my life, I think that we develop an attachment to stuff, right?
100%.
And there was definitely, I think sometimes we build an attachment to stuff we don't even have yet.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so you feel like you need it, and if you don't get it, like, there's just something, you feel like you're losing something, right? And so I think going back to, like, my Foot Locker times, you know, I would come in every day and see certain sneakers, and I didn't, for some reason, I would build, like, an attachment to, like, these sneakers I didn't even own, and then I did feel like I would need to buy them, which is because you start to, like, picture yourself with them, right? And so I think for some people there's an attachment to you have to something before you even own it, and so if it's on sale, you're like, this is the time, right? And so it's taken me a long time to kind of get past that piece, but I love the connecting it to work, right? And how much do I make per hour, and how much is this going to impact that, or is this going to impact other things that I need, right?
Or would like to do instead,
right? Yeah. And so, and I think you can even like connect a lot of it to like, you know, could I go, what kind of vacation could I take for all this stuff that I bought that I haven't used? You know, so what kind of experience could I have versus what stuff can I have?
Yeah. And like, oh, yeah.
Just got deep.
Like, I kept PTSD with some of my previous choices. But no, like, I remember, like, having some distinct, like, memories and moments of, especially in my early career days, where I'm making, you know, $8 to $9. You know, this was before the minimum wage was $10.
Right.
And I'm thinking of, like, you know, buying an expensive item. I'm going to have to work 10 hours for this. And like, that's a whole day. Like, is it worth buying this to have to work for a whole day?
Right.
And like, when you do the math like that, it's a little intense. So, yeah, I don't know. That's definitely something that's helped me. And other times I'm like, it's fine. Like, don't think about it. It's fine.
Right.
But
I do think there are things that are worth that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, would I rather work a whole day so I can, you know, take a day trip and, you know, maybe go visit a friend and get a nice hotel? Yeah, absolutely worth working for a whole day for that.
Right. And I think those experiences are some of the sales too that you can, you know, look and see, you know, what's the best time to travel, right? Because they are going to reduce rates at certain times, right?
Sure.
And so I think kind of not getting drawn into like kind of some of those things that what am I trying to say? So I think, you know, looking for those good deals, right? So it's not just about stuff, but it's about experiences as well. I feel like we're in like a generation that's like appreciating the experiences more than the stuff now.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I heard somewhere it's a very millennial thing.
Right?
I'm like, all right, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Me too.
Are you millennial, Brad?
Well, so I'm like right between millennial and Gen X. And so there's some that like connect me to Gen X, some that connect me with millennial, some that like in betweener.
Gotcha.
And so I like the elder millennial. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I have heard that term.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so there's a comedian that talks about the elder millennial, and I just relate. I bust out laughing every time I'm watching that. So yeah, so
I'll have to go find that.
Oh my God, it's so funny. So yeah, I do consider myself like an elder millennial, and I was definitely. Now we're getting into like generate, right? But man, I could talk about this stuff all day. I love this stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I think for a while, like I was like, I don't want to be a millennial. These millennials they're crazy, right? Like, but now I feel like millennials are like pushing some things different than they used to, and so and part of this is like the experience for stuff, right?
I would agree.
And so I feel like I've been able to kind of get on board with more of this millennial stuff. So
this millennial stuff,
right? Yeah,
like a true elder millennial.
Oh my goodness, my favorite is the sit around and let me tell you about the landline. And I'm like, man, I had a landline in my house. That was great. Like, and
get off the internet and you need your phone.
and then you'd be on the phone and somebody else would pick up and it'd be like my dad and he'd be like, who's this, right? And I'm like, I'm talking to a girl, right? And he'd be like, who are you talking? I'm like, hang up the phone, Dad. Yeah, man.
Kids these days,
yes,
don't even know the struggle.
They don't. I love this rabbit hole that we've gone down.
I'm so sorry, everyone. So anyway, back to sales.
Yeah, so sales.
Sales.
Yeah, don't buy stuff.
Do buy stuff. That's fine.
Yeah.
You need need stuff.
Right, you do.
But I think it's also just being careful that you're buying things for the right reasons and
yeah, I think the biggest thing is don't let this
be onto their games, man.
Yeah, like
we see you.
Don't let them play on your impulse to buy stuff you don't need
because it's all emotional, and they know that. They know that.
Right. And do your research.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of times where
I suck at that.
yeah, something looks like a great deal, and then when you really start researching, I think electronics are so with electronics, they'll put it on sale, and it just really means that the newer version's coming out.
Right.
Word already came out. And so, but then I think when you look at that sale, so I got a new computer, right? And so it was on sale, but there was a new version out. And so I looked at, okay, the new version's like a couple $100 than the sale version, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is a couple $100 the new thing that came out, is it worth it? Is it not worth it, right? Like, should I spend that extra $200 to get the newest? Or for $200 less, is this? And that was one of those times where, you do have a limited amount of time to make that decision because they stopped making it.
Right.
And so, in fact, as I was looking, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go with the sale one. I don't think that for another $200, these new things I don't think that they're things that I need. I think this one will do everything I need to do, and it's $200 less. It's
like
perfect, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, Best Buy, send me one. And then they were like, no, we don't have any more. And I'm like, shoot, right? And then I was like,
dang it.
All right, well, does another Best Buy have one? And then I think I just went in and I was like, this is what I'm looking for. Like, it says you don't have any. And he was like, let me look. And he's like, I found one in the back behind the thing. And I was like, oh, yes, right? So I was excited about this sale. Yeah, so for $200, I got, something that will work. It will publish this podcast.
There we go.
Very well. So
good job, computer.
So that's an example of a good sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can buy stuff, people. It's okay.
Yes. Don't buy stuff, and you can buy stuff.
Yes.
We're not confusing at all.
No, sales are bad and sales are good.
Yes.
So yeah.
But they're neutral. It's just what we do with the sale.
Yes, I think. Yeah, the research piece, right? Like it really is about identifying what your needs are. And then, is this really an actual good sale, or is it like a crappy sale?
Fake sale.
Yeah, I said crap, so hopefully your little kids aren't listening.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, this went, so.
We should just be done. All right,
we should not. I think that this is our best episode ever. So we got millennial in here, we got sales, we got don't buy things, do buy things. We got it all, so. But on that note, we probably should wrap this up.
Let's just wrap this up. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for sticking with us this long.
Yes.
We appreciate it. And thanks for letting us know that you appreciate our podcast. It means the world to us. I'm still always surprised when somebody tells me they actually listen to it. So thank you.
Yeah. And we still have stickers. I think we have
about that. Yeah.
all the stickers minus like 4 because we put one over there.
I have a couple.
Yeah, my kids put them on their drink things. That's the cool thing to do. So that's what the cool kids are doing.
Yep.
Yeah, so you should definitely request a sticker. We'll send it to you.
For sure.
All right. Well, this is Brad with Junk King.
And Jen with Jen Hill Organizing. And thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It was fun.
What the junk. See, that felt better.
Yes.